Greetings, programs, and welcome to my first vlog. So I wanted to talk about the Vegas trip in greater detail. A lot of the videos I took were sparse and not very detailed, just because timing and everything. I never really got a chance to talk about my experience. So here I am going to go into a little bit more detail while splicing in some of the videos that I did take, as well as showing off some pictures that I took. I took a lot of pictures, and also had some videos that included some one of the things that I did. You're gonna have to forgive me for this. I have been trying so hard to try and get this video out and done. It's just been very difficult for me with timing, getting back into the swing of things, and then just not getting enough sleep. But hey, that's how we are here. So I'm gonna cover the first day. I had been up for 30 hours when we drove. We started our drive. And it was not probably my best call, but I thought if I had stayed up, I'd be able to fall asleep in the... No, it didn't happen quite that way, but the drive was uneventful. Luckily, we made it out there timely. I had a schedule, actually, so that was quite a bit of the interesting part, is that we managed to make it to the Petrified Forest National Park a couple hours before they opened. So we arrived, waited for the park to open, and then as soon as they opened at 8, we were in, walked around, and then essentially the park itself is a road that you drive around. You have some spots you can stop, take pictures. The scenery is absolutely breathtaking. It doesn't even look real. We were looking over a vista that I swore I had to just stand there and stare because it didn't look real. It looked like a matte painting. And it just... I have to say, the pictures, of course, as you're seeing, don't do it justice. They don't do it justice. But we drove around the whole length of the park, took in a few other sites there, and then once we were done, we were able to exit the park, and then we made our way north towards the Grand Canyon. Again, something I had never seen. This is as far west as I had ever been in the United States. So a lot of it was just all new to me. We arrived at the Grand Canyon, oh Lord, I think it was pushing noon, I think, give or take, might have been 1 o'clock. And again, this was one of those things that once you see it, it's breathtaking. Truly, it's something you have to see in order to fully grasp and appreciate it. I was definitely one of those people that thought it was more of a big hole. Oh, well, what is this? What's the point? But once I saw it, I fully appreciated it. We had thought about going to the skywalk, you know, those walkways that's glass, you can walk over top and whatnot, which sounds absolutely terrifying, and I'm glad we didn't do that. But when we found out that it was clear on the end of the canyon, closer to Vegas, but would have been 2 hours out of our way, we were like, no. So we headed out, because we still had 4 hours. The Grand Canyon is at least 3-4 hours outside of Vegas. So we headed there and got into Vegas, pushing 5-6 o'clock in the evening, Thursday. A little later than I thought, but still, we made it. And as soon as we got there, got to the hotel, met up with our friends, and just kind of vibed for a bit. And just kind of gave ourselves a chance to be like, okay, we're out of the car, just kind of relax and ease in. And we didn't waste any time after that. Once we kind of settled in a bit, we headed down to Fremont Street, or as some might know it as Old Vegas. And let me tell you, I didn't get a lot of pictures or video of that place because I don't want to come off as a tourist. I'm one of those people that try to take everything in and experience it myself. I don't want to capture stuff through my phone. I want to enjoy here and make the memories and whatnot. That's just how I've always been. And Fremont Street is just a party street. You see dancers, you see street performers, you smell marijuana, because that was the big thing we noticed when we got there was marijuana. Hey, that's what you do? Hey, I'm not gonna harsh your vibe. But that was a good time to say the least. And that was just our day. That was our first day in Vegas. Day two consisted of me heading to the convention myself. I walked around quite a good bit. Once I was registered, I tried to take everything in a bit. It was fairly early when I got there, and the vendor's room opened up, and I was like, okay, let's just take it all in. None of the celebrity guests had arrived, but I was able to see their tables and see who's all gonna be here at the con. And the vendor's room was by far the hub of activity. I had tried to see what all was available, and I don't want to say I was underwhelmed. I guess I'm not sure how to describe it really. It was, I guess, I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe really, because it wasn't what I was expecting, and I wasn't exactly overwhelmed, but I wasn't underwhelmed either. It kind of sort of met my expectations. I was like, okay, kind of the crowd I'm used to and whatnot. And I found like a cafe or it was a lounge that I could go to just to, even if I wanted a quick bite or whatnot. But the most surprising thing was Hero Within was at this at this convention, and the gentleman there recognized me from my socials, and that was such a experience to be recognized. It was very nice, and I very much appreciated it, which I have to say, we have some cosplay reviews coming. I ordered a couple jackets from them, and they're due to release in October, I believe. So when they arrive, I will absolutely be reviewing those. I'm very excited to talk more about those when they arrive. It is the Picard jacket from Next Generation, Patrick Stewart's essentially captain's variant, the overcoat. They made one of that, which I'm very, very looking forward to. They made a Star Trek Enterprise flight jacket, which I'm very excited. I tried both of these on and was very, very impressed, and looked, like I said, and was like, yes, I can't wait. They also made a real leather version of the Star Trek Picard field jacket, which looks just absolutely spectacular, and I'm very excited to get my hands on that, as well as a Galaxy class development team jacket. It's not exactly a cosplay jacket, but I'm gonna be talking about it when it arrives, trust me. Very much looking forward to that. Fan sets had quite a few pins that I managed to get a hold of as well. Other than that, that was more or less my vendor's room experience. Day two, yeah, that's where I met and got Jonathan Frakes' autograph. Was very excited about that. He is one of my favorite actors, and met him, and he's just a very lovely man, and was very happy to get his autograph. After that, I met up with my friends. I cannot for the life of me remember the casino because it was so massive. It's the place where, maybe someone can help me in the comments, where there are gondolas. The boats where, you know, you got the rowers, you're sitting and then they're rowing through. This hotel casino had canals. It was just, I was like, where am I? What is this place? This place was incredible. It was shopping centers. It was just like, this isn't a real place. This where am I? But we met up at Sandbox VR, and I got my first chance at VR experience. Sandbox VR is a place that essentially is, you up to 6 friends are taken back into a black room that's kind of got some soundproofing, where you're given a headset, a haptic feedback vest, and equipment depending on your scenario. And as you're about to see, we played Star Trek Discovery Away Team.
We picked up an unidentified Federation distress signal on this frozen moon just outside Klingon space.
This is Chief Engineer Ronnie of the USS Cousteau. Our mission was to salvage computers from a wrecked Klingon ship and find anything we could about cloaking technology. We thought we came here undetected.
That's a bastard.
We were wrong.
What's the danger?
Oh! I'm trying to beam you out. Almost got a lock on your position. Hang in there.
Hey, I need help! Behind! Shoot it off me! Shoot it off me!
Keep shooting at it! I've almost got you!
You cannot escape the wrath of our war!
Oh! Zach, behind us!
Return
I'm down!
and your death shall be swift!
We got one up high on the left.
Smell your fear! In the name of fire! I shall have my revenge!
Needless to say, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, and I gotta say, the VR, the display was a little blurry, but I was still very much like, yep, okay, this is fun. I need to get me a VR headset, so yeah, this needs to happen. After that, oh Lord, I've completely blanked on what we did after that. It just kind of, I think, yeah, no, that's right. We headed back to the hotel to change and ease up, and we went to medieval times. We went to medieval times at Excalibur, and that was incredible. They didn't allow videos, but they encouraged photos. So I took a few photos and whatnot because, again, I'm trying to take it all in. And the food, oh, the food was the best food I've had there. It was bar none the best food. You're given a rotisserie chicken, about, I want to say about that big. You're given a piece of bread, an ear of corn, probably about that big, and little balls of potatoes. And it was incredible. The food was great. The show was spectacular. We made sure to root for our king, Romania. And it was a wonderful show with pyrotechnics. And that was a lot of fun. That was probably the one event that all of us were together. And it was definitely good memories I had with my friends there. Afterwards, some of us decided to walk around the strip, and we took in the nightlife of the main strip. We went from the Excalibur to New York, to the Cosmopolitan, to the Bellagio, where we took in the Botanical Gardens and the water show, which the water show, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but it was still pretty spectacular, as you'll see in the video here. So yeah, after that, we got back to the hotel and crashed. Day 3, Saturday of the convention, I went back, walked around again, took in some panels, which again, I was hoping to catch more or find a panel that would hop out at me and I'd be able to enjoy, but it just, nothing really clicked for me, which is unfortunate, but again, it's like, I was the only one of my friends to go to the convention, so part of me is like, I'm trying to enjoy it by myself, which it's, you know, it tends to, you know, it's not as enjoyable but if you're sharing the experience with friends. But hey, again, I still had a good time. Afterwards, I left the convention to meet up with my friends for lunch. We tried to get an all-you-can-eat buffet. That blew up in our face. So we decided to try a Western staple, In-N-Out. In-N-Out Burger, and it was okay. Compared to the meal we had at Medieval Times, that meal was okay. It was a good burger, but when the inside was packed, so you had to go outside. The temperature outside was 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Dry heat, mind you, there was no humidity compared to what I had back here in Ohio, but you went to go sit outside and you could not sit because the seats were so hot. You were in direct sunlight, so I'm trying to enjoy a burger, kind of hunched over, not exactly sitting on my seat. But after that, we went back. I kind of took a nap just to ease off a bit, because that night we went back to Fremont Street, where my friends decided to take in wrestling. They took in wrestling at a nerd bar that we had found. I went with them because I wanted to hang out and whatnot. I'm not much of a wrestler, not much of a wrestling fan, so they went, they enjoyed it, but I had fun at the bar. Afterwards, we went back and to the hotel and crashed. Like I said, it may not seem like I'm describing a lot, but when you're 9 times out of 10 when I'm going from the convention, because not a lot happened at the convention. For me, I would walk around the vendor's room, try to be like, okay, I'm trying to be conservative with my money because it was very real wanting to spend more than I could afford. And I have to say this, I didn't gamble. I'm not a gambling man. It's not really my thing, but the temptation was there. Afterwards, like I said, this was now the final day. Our friends had to leave very early. So my friends took me to the convention that I was driving with, took me to the convention for one last walk around. I went to get my photo with Christopher Lloyd as Marty McFly. I was very much excited for the opportunity to meet him. He was very lovely, wonderful man. He had just done a dual photo op with William Shatner for Star Trek III's anniversary. So they were both sitting in a chair. Mr. Shatner was off to the side. Christopher Lloyd was doing his. After that, I waited around for my photo to get developed. After the photo, I got the photo. I left, got in the car, and we headed back east. We decided to make one pit stop. Now, mind you, we weren't planning on leaving until about 6 p.m. So we were and this was now noon. We were well ahead of schedule. So we decided to head to the Red Rock National Park in Zion, Utah. Again, another breathtaking scenery, and another one of these places where there were so many hiking trails, and the urge to just, well, as you can see in some of the pictures in the little video here, I did not hesitate to find a rock and climb it. I don't know what it is. If I can find something I can climb, I'm just gonna do it. I enjoy climbing. So there was that. And then we headed back east. And the drive again was uneventful. We made it back. I got in Tuesday morning, roughly 3 in the morning. Might have been a little earlier. But we made it. We made it home, and it's an experience that I'm never gonna forget. It's made me appreciate experiences over objects, I guess. I say this as I'm wearing a cosplay coat that I recently got, but cosplaying is a hobby of mine and I'm never gonna stop that. But to see these national parks, to be able to see these sites, especially with friends, it's something that I encourage you all to consider doing. It is a fantastic experience. It's wonderful. I will always cherish these memories. And I know I've talked a lot, and again, I kind of rambled. I didn't have a script. I wanted to try to convey my memories, which again, some of them might have failed me a bit, but again, that's why I've had the pictures playing and the video snippets that I did take. Because I did have a plan of recording a bit more, but at one point during the second day, I believe I got some dehydration. I suffered from dehydration a bit. Something that did happen was I got dropped off at the wrong spot and ended up having to walk about 15 minutes to where I would meet up for a sandbox in a full Starfleet uniform. Which that's something I didn't touch on exactly. It was curious. It was very curious, interesting. The convention was at the Rio Hotel Casino. Everybody involved with the convention seemed to kind of stay there, which kind of makes sense, I guess. But we stayed at the Hilton Grand Vacation, and in between traveling all over the strip and whatnot, I seemed to be I didn't see anybody else in cosplay or any kind of Trek related gear outside of the convention. And it was interesting. I was kind of like, oh, okay, I guess they're just kind of staying there. Okay, no, that's fine. But it was like, oh, okay. I do want to make a comment on Vegas. I know it's called Sin City, should called Lust City. The amount of skin that I saw on billboards and whatnot, it was just like, okay, no, I was expecting it, but still was like, oh, okay, this seems to be like, yeah, you have the casinos for greed, but they were pushing the skin pretty hard. So, anyway, what a note to end this on. But folks, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. So you have at least 4 cosplay reviews to look forward to at least in 2 months, or whenever they arrive. I hope they get sent out early, but let's be real. I really want to thank my friends for the opportunity. My one friend who has access to the hotels and whatnot has said that his next trip, boys trip, wants to be to Universal Disney in Florida to go to Harry Potter, the Harry Potter experience and Star Wars Land, both of which, I'll be perfectly blunt, do not really interest me, but to experience it with my friends, that's going to make it all better. So don't get me wrong, I very much looking forward to it. But when I get to Disney, I'm going to the Tron ride. First, foremost, that's where I'm going. They want to go to Star Wars Land, I'll meet them there. I'm going to go ride a light cycle. That's what I'm going to do first. So folks, again, I really do appreciate you checking out this video and allowing me to ramble about my experiences. I don't know if I'll do more vlogs in the future. I just wanted to do this one to be able to convey and whatnot and share my experiences. So folks, if you would please leave a comment, leave a like, I'd appreciate it. And if you want to see more streams, because again, I stream 3 days a week. So if you want to be notified, ring the bell. And as always, I will see you all next cycle. This is Zayun, out.